Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. You are here with Lyric Armstrong, your real estate advocate. So, today we're going to talk about the Black Beverly Hills and a little more of extension thereof because the market prices are up, up, up. So, let me see, where were we here? So, when we talk about the Black Beverly Hills, we're mostly concerning ourselves with View Park, Baldwin Hills area. But if you're in the area, you know very well that Baldwin Vista, Ladera Heights are very close thereby, and consequently, um, a part of the community. You know, there just happen to be a couple hills over. And I could even so much as say even Blair Hills should be included in our Black Baldwin Hills designation. Okay. But right now, if we're looking at View Park for December 2020, just looking at the market, okay, this is Baldwin Vista, Baldwin Hills, View Park itself, there were a couple of homes that sold. Um, a lot of the market in 2020 were impacted by COVID-19. Didn't mean that we didn't sell houses. We sold various houses in 2020. California had a good real estate year. Nevertheless, the time to sell houses were quite delayed. So the days on market are not completely indicative of the marketplace, but mostly indicative of the timing due to the pandemic. So a lot of our property had, well, okay, so in December 2020, 7,134 homes sold through the MLS. They sold on the market throughout California in as a whole. Now in our area, it was in the Black Baldwin Hills, there was around 56, 57 pieces of property that sold in the month of December for 2020. Now, being specific as to View Park, Baldwin Vista, being real precise as to our particular area of Black Baldwin Hills, you had a close to 10 properties and then some within our area of like Inglewood, right next to Windsor Hills, Baldwin Hills area, and then Culver City, which is right next to Baldwin Vista area. A couple of properties there that kind of are on the line of our city lines. But nevertheless, in totality here, we're looking at, I think 10 properties. And two of those properties sold within the normal 30 days, four more within 60 days. That's pretty normal. That's a normal time frame. The four properties that went over the 91 days into 120 and beyond, those were more impacted by COVID. One of it was even a probate sale. So, the probate sale, you have timelines that impact the sale, and those timelines atypically are court proceedings. And with courts being closed and trying to adjust to how to have proceedings within the pandemic timeframe, I mean the pandemic response, it exceeded normal time of about 60 days. So it pretty much doubled the time that we usually sell houses in this area. Nevertheless, and the median sale price was 1.2 million. The low end for the area was this one saying 804. Oh, sell price. Okay, because it's the list price. So this one went a little under its sale. So it's 104,000. That's probably more like the Baldwin Vista starting point. The closer you are to, say, Obama Boulevard, formerly Rodeo or Rodeo Boulevard, that Rodeo Road, that price point there is starting at 800. But that doesn't mean, that does not mean you can go buy a house there for 800. That means like a home that may need to be touched up upon, not truly put to the current market, is starting at around 800,000. in the month of December. Okay, now we're in the month of January. We have new numbers. We're probably 850 now as the starting point. And you say, why so high? Why what's going wrong with the market? Why? Because interest rates are pretty competitive still. They're still low. Buyers that can afford to purchase are getting better deals with interest rates, so that allows them to pay more money towards the actual product. And the product in our area have not been on the market for like 30 years, 40 years. So consequently, it's a really hot market when you put something on the marketplace. Typically, you find things not standing a week's time if they're priced right in our area. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of homes that are not, they're kind of on the market still. And it has to do with pricing, location, and then one home is really specially made. It's almost as if it was catered to the owner of the time, and it's not really in a place where a new buyer can come in and put their characteristic on it. So they have to be like-minded as the previous owner. They have to enjoy the same aesthetics in order to really receive the home. Otherwise, they're ripping out marble all over the place and tearing down walls or putting up walls, and they would have major construction. And for the price point it's at, it's already at its max. So some people are just not finding it worth the while, even though it's a really cute home. It is really nice. It just needs the right buyer. It only needs one. So it's been on the market for a little while. But now we're just talking about sales, because when you're with your real estate agent, ladies and gentlemen, don't show them Zillow. Do not say, oh, this house is on the market of Zillow. It is. You have to read Zillow. Like 90% of those houses say off market, which means they're not being sold. And then the ones that you see that say sold, they don't have the right sell price to them. And then the other ones that you see that say list, you go to contact that agent. That's not the listing agent. That's just any agent Zillow connects you with who's paid to be a part of the service. So when you're with your real estate agent, and hopefully you're with a professional and someone who's advocating for you, if you don't have that person, call me. But you want to know comps, because when you're putting in your offer, you need to understand comps. Comps have nothing to do with what is listed on the market. Like I tell you, there's a house on the market that's been on the market for over a month. That is not typical for the area. The price for that house is just not working out, and this aesthetics of that house is just not working out. So case in point, you go see this house and you're like, oh, I can get 6 bedrooms for 1.6 million and da 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 da. Why do I have to pay 1.8 for a $3 million house? Because you're not looking at the comps, my love. That's not a comp. Listing houses does not make the comp. It's what sells it. When the house is sold, that is the comp. So, just last month in December, here we have our Ladera area. Upper Ladera is running at about 1.9 on, this is Sherborne Drive, mid-century home, very straight lined, particular aesthetic, but mid-century style is really in right now. People are loving mid-century. There's some styles of it I like and some I don't, but others are really loving it. They are selling quite quickly. This color palette is quite specific. So, if you're going to paint your house, I would go with something a little more neutral, because if you're trying to sell, you want it to be marketable to many people. You're not looking for a special independent buyer. You want it to be marketable to many people so that you can get it sold quicker. So if you're trying to do that, be mindful of the color palette that you're using. Though I don't believe this house was on the market too long. Well, let me go back, because let me think about this. Yeah, this house took a year to sell, and there are a combination of reasons. As you can see, pricing had a play in it, because the original price was 2.2. They ended up, adjusting that to 1.9. What did they sell for? And they sold for just a little under the 1.95. So they sold the property at 1.934. So list price was a little much for the marketplace, but don't judge them too harshly because the full year had a lot to do with the pandemic. Like, even though we sold property, there were a lot of agents or even sellers who were concerned about showing their property to prospective buyers. So you had a lot of persons unable to market the property in normal senses. But it's not too far fetched that this property still would have taken some time to sell because of its price point being high and individuals needing to qualify for that type of lending, as well as the aesthetic of the home was a little more specific. Not too bad though. Not too bad. I've seen I've seen worse. This is 62nd Street, probably mid La Brea, I think. Yeah, mid lower La Brea. I mean, Ladera. But nice street. You see, nice street, nice home, has a pool, 2,700, and on a cul-de-sac. So someone got a really great deal, respectfully, because they spent 1.5 on this home, and in a couple months, if market price stay in their increase, this property will have instant return. Is this okay? This is back to Upper Ladera. Nice home, 4,300 square foot. Needs a little bit of work, not too bad. Just a little cleanup work, and updating for bathrooms, but nothing, nothing 50s. So they're, it's not too bad. You can move in now, kind of thing. You may want to change it, but you could move in now. This is the Inglewood home, so this is not a part of our analysis, but that's what I was telling you about Ladera. I wouldn't even call this Inglewood. I don't know why this is right here, but they're saying this is Inglewood, even though it's right smack. Oh, okay, on Fairview. Yeah, so that's like off. That's not too far from Simply Wholesome. So on one side of the way is Inglewood, and then when you go a little bit over, then you're back into Ladera. And when you come back this other way, you're moving into View Park. So that's one of the tips of Inglewood. This is LA, Windsor Hills, View Park, Lower View Park, Windsor Hills. Straightforward home 1.1. Okay. Um, the View Park proper home that sold for 1.5. Are you excited about that? You should be excited about that. Well, guess what? It was a probate. So that's why it was undervalued for the area of View Park, at a 3.4 on Kenway, no less. Kenway is a very desirable street for View Park. And it was also on the market for 213 days. Okay, so it had its time, but it was a foreclosure, with a trust and a conservatorship. It had to take its time in order to get, because it was a trust sale, so it had to take its time through the courts in order to get sold. But its original list price is 1.5, and its sell price was 1.5. So it was good for its market at the time. What does this mean to you, seller? What does this mean to me? Why am I looking at this? Well, if this is your area, this was last month. Okay. But do not be dismayed. This is what sold last month, which means the individuals who got into contract on these particular homes put their offer in at least 30 days before that. Because there was nothing really 14 days. I didn't think I saw anything for 14 days, at the time. Let me see, this one might have been a 14-day escrow. I don't think so. I'm not sure. But for the most part, when we did the analysis, we saw that most of the properties sold within the 30-day time frame. Two of them were right within 30 days, so maybe they were 14 days. But if that's the case, they're most likely investors, and that would have been a couple of the properties at the lower end so that they can get the most return on their investment. So taking this into consideration, this is good for you because the marketplace now is much greater than it was then. Okay, so this is December. I know of particular properties that have sold in Baldwin Hills in the Dons that have sold in the Dons for 1.7, almost 1.8. So, and there's some property under contract right now, a little over 1.4, 1.5 in Upper View Park area. So this is letting you know that the market is still strong. We are still selling houses at a deservable price point for our area. So if you're looking to sell your house and get your analysis and understand what your house is worth specific to you, then let me know. Email me at lyric@ljaestates.com because you should know what it's worth. You might want to refi for a lower rate depending on when you purchased your house before. You might want to refi so you can spruce up the house, or refi, hold the money and wait for a good deal for some investment property, little condos in the area so that you can get some investment property, income property coming in. Or you might want to sell it. You might be ready to cash out and move to Georgia and hang out with Stacey Abrams, or are you trying to go, anywhere else? Virginia, I have individuals moving to, I think, North Carolina it is. So if that's what you're looking to do, if not Nevada, I've heard Nevada as well. If that's what you're looking to do, give me a call so that we can get your house sold very quickly. Houses are flying off the market. We don't have enough inventory. Remember, View Park, our Black Baldwin Hills area, has not really been on the market for the last 30 years. People have been starving and biting at the bit trying to get in, which is, like I said, why they've kind of spilled out a little bit more. Blair Hills is the same thing. You can't get in. I haven't seen a house on the market in Blair Hills in so long. So once something is on the market, it's like a clamoring effect. Listing agents have having showings right back to back to back to back because people are hammering for our area. So do not miss this opportunity. If you are trying to gain a better retirement fund for yourself, or you're thinking about making better financial decisions and you're looking to sell, let me know. And I had a client say to me once that she was trying to save it. She was in foreclosure almost every fourth month or so, and she for years, and she kept telling me, I'm saving it for the grandkids, I'm saving it for the grandkids. I said, you're depreciating the valuation for your grandchildren. They're going to walk away with nothing, because not only are you struggling to keep the mortgage current, which you're not doing, you're incurring all kind of fees on, the house itself is not standing well. It needs work. So what are you doing? You're depreciating the value versus selling the asset that's, real property, putting the finance, the liquid asset into an interest bearing account, and that can continue to appreciate and have financial gain um, for your family. Excuse me. So she ended up doing that, and she moved to Nevada. So I'm real happy to say that she got that accomplished, and you can do it too if that's where your situation is. I understand real estate is one of the wise investments. However, it does have liabilities associated with it. So if you're not able to keep up with the liabilities, you need to put that financial investment into an asset that will appreciate, especially if you're trying to leave it for your loved ones. Okay, so give me a call or email me so we can go over this in detail and have more specifics for you in case you are looking to sell or just want a little evaluation on your home. All right, talk to you later. Thank you. I'm Lyric Armstrong, your real estate advocate.